Yo, what is up everyone? Today we're taking a look at the Scarecrow Nightmare DLC missions, which are currently exclusive to the PlayStation 4. Now in my honest opinion, I'm really not too impressed with these Scarecrow Nightmares, based on a couple of reasons. First off, there's only 3 nightmares. I would have hoped for at least 6. I think that would have been a whole lot better. Second of all 3 of these missions require the Batmobile, and I was really hoping to see some classic nightmares like we had back in Arkham Asylum, where we were actually on foot as Batman as we tried to avoid being seen by Scarecrow. So I think a combination of those classic nightmares on top of these Batmobile challenges would have made this Scarecrow pack a whole lot better. But unfortunately, this is all we've got. Now don't get me wrong, I think these Batmobile challenges are definitely a lot of fun. All you're really doing is racing to the main area of the map as quick as possible, trying to earn 3 stars, as well as going into battle mode and taking down the Scarecrow, as well as a bunch of tanks and helicopters that are thrown at you. So I think it's a cool idea. I like the fact that Rocksteady tried a different approach with these Scarecrow Nightmares, but I'm still pretty disappointed that we didn't get to see any of those classic nightmares where we're trying to get around the map, trying to avoid being seen by Scarecrow and just being as stealthy as possible. I think those are definitely legendary moments for the Arkham series, and I know for a fact that once Scarecrow Nightmares were officially announced for Arkham Knight, a lot of people, including myself, got really hyped up. We were looking forward to, some of those classic moments once again, but unfortunately we have simple Batmobile challenges. Now, speaking of the Batmobile, I kind of want to touch on a topic that I'm going to be talking about in a separate video, but I still want to talk about it pretty briefly right now, and that is the Batmobile overused within Arkham Knight? I personally feel that yes, the Batmobile was used quite a bit within the main story, but to me, the Batmobile was a big necessity in order for Batman to get through a majority of his obstacles, and that's just how the game was made. But in that sense, I don't feel it's overused, but with the Scarecrow Nightmare missions, that's where I could say it's kind of overused. I feel the Batmobile was put in a place that it didn't belong. The Scarecrow Nightmares were just fine within Arkham Asylum. There wasn't ever a need to have a car within the Scarecrow Nightmares. All Rocksteady did was kind of reshape and create a very twisted world within the Nightmare and have you on foot trying to get through it, trying to avoid being seen, and that was successful. That was a great aspect of the Scarecrow Nightmare. So that's why I would say, Rocksteady didn't need to add in the Batmobile to these nightmares. If they wanted to try a different approach and incorporate a different style of nightmare on top of the ones we already know and love, then that's fine, but don't replace those classic nightmares that we all know and remember, and don't replace the ones that we all got hyped up for when the new nightmares were announced. If you guys remember back within the Scarecrow Nightmare trailer, the trailer itself shows Batman on foot. So judging from that trailer and before watching any gameplay, that's where I would assume that you would at least be on foot throughout some part or some form within the nightmare. But I don't know why they even tried to do that within the trailer. I felt that was kind of misleading. They could have just thrown together a trailer where using the Batmobile so that at least the fans are aware about the type of nightmares we're going to be seeing. I think a lot of fans out there probably expected similar nightmares to the ones we had in Arkham Asylum. So I can say a lot of people got surprised by Rocksteady's approach with these nightmares. Another thing I wanted to talk about was Scarecrow's voice here within Arkham Knight. As we know, Scarecrow's voice is definitely a whole lot different than the one we heard back from Arkham Asylum. Now the real question is, which voice is better? The previous one or the current one? I honestly feel that Rocksteady nailed it with Scarecrow's voice within Arkham Asylum. I really felt that his voice sounded just super creepy, absolutely insane, and it was just a perfect representation of Scarecrow. I literally felt that he sounded like fear, you know. Every time I heard his voice walking around Scarecrow's nightmare, you know, it was just perfect. That's literally the word I can describe it. And I feel that his voice here within Arkham Knight is just a little too serious, a little too deep, and I don't get that creepy vibe like I did within Arkham Asylum. But that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about Scarecrow's voice. But another thing I wanted to bring up was the way that Rocksteady created Arkham Knight's storyline. You know, I really like the fact that now that the Joker is dead here within this storyline, it opened up opportunities for other villains to shine. You know, a little spoiler I'm going to mention real quick. Click off this video if you don't want to hear it. But as we know, within the main storyline, the Joker is still a big part of Batman's adventure. You know, as Batman's hallucinating based on the fear toxin, he sees Joker a lot, but Joker wasn't the center villain of this game. And I think the fact that Joker died within Arkham City, it may have upset a lot of people, but to think about it, it was a pretty big benefit for the Arkham series. You know, it left open opportunities for lots of other villains to take over and lots of villains to be the star of this game, you know. And I think that's just what made this game even better than the previous Arkham games. You know, we were able to see a lot of character development with Scarecrow and how his master plan, you know, how it worked out, you know, how he went through with it. You know, I think that just is what made this game great. You know, I think if the Joker was still alive within the current timeline of Arkham Knight, you know, I think this game probably still would have been better than Arkham City, but it still would have been, you know, more of the same, with the Joker being the head honcho and the head villain of the game. You know, I just felt it was great to see something different, and it was great to see Scarecrow be that villain, because I think after he disappeared within Arkham Asylum and didn't reappear within Arkham City, you know, I think that left a lot of speculation within the Arkham community as to when Scarecrow would return. And I felt that after seeing that Easter egg within Arkham City where we go onto Scarecrow's boat and we get to see that he was experimenting, that right there was just a big hint that Scarecrow is planning something big and he will be returning. So that's just my opinion overall about Scarecrow. Again, leave all your thoughts in the comments section regarding what you guys think about these nightmare missions, what you think about his voice, as well as what do you guys think about the Batmobile pretty much being the center of these nightmare missions. You know, I think, honestly, I like how Rocksteady took a new approach with these missions, as I said, but I still would have hoped to see those classic nightmares where we're on foot. You know, that's what made those nightmares even creepier, because we're on foot, we have no support, trying to avoid being seen by a giant Scarecrow. You know, that just was such a classic moment. But hope you guys are enjoying the gameplay. I did get 3 stars on all 3 of these nightmares. I'm going to end this commentary now so you can listen up and hear what Scarecrow has to say here for the 3rd and final nightmare. But thanks for watching, everyone. Definitely make sure you check out my recent gameplays covering the Harley Quinn and Red Hood DLC story packs. Be on the lookout for some more Arkham coverage. Thanks for watching, everyone, and peace out, YouTube.
Scared yet? It's always a pleasure to mess with your head, Batman. This is the end, Batman. What's buried beneath and dying to come out? Show me. Feel that tickle beneath your breastbone. That's fear. I've always wondered what makes a grown man dedicate his whole life to scaring the socially challenged. What gives you the right to take the law in your own hands? What gives you the right to terrorize criminals? What makes you think you can save Gotham? You can't save Gotham, Batman. No one can. fill the streets and bring this city to its knees. Bring me his soul. Let's hear you scream. Die. Attack. You will burn. Suffer. Poor little bat. Bring down the bat. Die, Batman. You will burn. Burn. Die. Make him suffer. Let's hear you scream. Suffer. Pick his bones apart.